In a quiet suburb of Chicago, there stood an old-age home named Silver Haven. It was peaceful, white walls, clean gardens, and silence that carried 1,000 untold stories. One of those stories belonged to Mr. John Carter, a 76-year-old man with kind eyes and trembling hands. Every evening, he would sit by the window, watching the sun sink behind hills. He smiled at the staff, talked little, and waited. Always waited. He was waiting for his son, David. David was a successful man, a tech executive in New York. Fast cars, fancy suits, a busy life. He loved his father, but over the years the calls became fewer, the visits shorter, and eventually he made a decision he thought was for the best. He placed his father in the old age home, promising to visit often. But months turned into years. One day, Mr. John asked the nurse, "Does the mail come today?"
I'm so sorry, Mr. Carter.
The nurse smiled sadly. "No letter today, Mr. Carter." Still he smiled. "Maybe tomorrow." Meanwhile, in the city, David was lost in meetings, numbers, and deadlines. One night, after a tiring day, he opened his drawer and saw a photo, himself as a boy, sitting on his father's shoulders, both laughing under a rain-soaked sky. His heart tightened. For the first time in years, he felt something he had buried deep. Guilt. He decided to visit. "Dad," David whispered. Mr. John turned slowly, eyes lighting up. "David, you came." David hugged him tightly, tears rolling down. "I'm sorry, Dad. I shouldn't have left you here." Mr. John smiled softly. "You didn't leave me, son. You gave me time to think and to forgive." David looked confused. "Forgive me for what?" The old man took out a folded letter from his pocket. "I wrote this for you.
She wanted you to have this.
Read it when you go home." That night, David returned to his apartment. The city lights glowed outside as he opened the letter with trembling hands. It read, "My dear David, I know life kept you busy. I know you had dreams, work, and pressure. Don't blame yourself for putting me here. This place taught me peace. But I want you to remember one thing, son. The day you were born, I held your tiny hand and promised I would never let go. When you sent me here, I realized something. You weren't letting go either. You were just lost, the way all sons get lost in the rush of life. I forgive you, David. I never stopped loving you, not even for a second. And if one day you become a father, don't forget to hold your son's hand a little longer, because love doesn't age, it only waits." The letter ended with a shaky signature, "Your dad, John." Tears fell on the paper as David pressed it to his chest. The next morning, he drove back to Silver Haven, but this time his father's bed was empty. Mr. John had passed away peacefully in his sleep that night. David knelt beside the empty bed, clutching the letter, whispering through his tears, "I'll hold on, Dad. I'll never let go again." Outside, the sun rose gently through the window, warm, golden, and full of forgiveness. Moral: parents never stop loving, even when we forget to love them back. But it's never too late to return, because love always waits.